Gregory will open it up and take questions.
Obviously, UMass has been playing extremely well and played well again today. There's some interesting statistics, but the bottom line is where we're struggling is in defending the 3-point line. And sometimes it's off of penetration. Today it was just more off of not having the urgency to close out and get out there with a high hand. We forced more turnovers than they did. We scored more points off of turnovers. They were +2 in points in the paint, but 36-34. Great job by us getting the ball in the paint. More second chance points. Outscored them at the free throw line. 2-point differential in fast breaks. But the difference was we were -15 at the 3. And they scored 18 out of their 33 points in the second half from the 3. So we have to do a much better job of defending the 3-point line. We got to play with a greater sense of urgency on our closeouts. I think we cut it to 6 and we gave up 2 straight 3s and went right back up to 12. And there was probably, 8 minutes, 9 minutes to go. So you're right where you want to be in winning time, couple possession game, but just weren't able to get on that particular point the defensive stops. 42 points in the second half by us, shooting 53% from the field, 40 from the 3, and just under 70 from the free throw line. Can't ask for much more than that, you know what I mean? But we had a stretch of 8 minutes in the first half where we got out of sorts on offense. We didn't execute as well as we needed to. Took some quick shots, which led to some transition baskets by them. But I thought we settled down much more in the second half, but just didn't get key stops at key moments.
Coach, the defense, the perimeter defense that you had problems with tonight, was that due in part to how UMass moved the ball? I mean, they really moved the ball around. I think they had 20 assists on 27 made shots.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, and some of them were just, I think, I don't know how many they had in the first half. They might have had 13 assists in the first half, maybe. But yeah, we just, again, not as urgent to close out once that ball gets zipped to your man. You know what I mean? And sometimes the hardest guy to guard is the guy when the ball gets past him. If you're not in position initially, then to close out on him, a lot of times that one step being out of position makes the difference in getting a clean look as opposed to a contested look. So there was a couple missed coverages, in both those 3s that they hit. When we cut it to 6, we switched on a play that we weren't supposed to switch on, and then one was on the baseline out of bounds, and we just, didn't guard the guy in the corner. We played off him and made the shot. So, and Weeks hit one in the corner too, where we were really late on the closeout. So I mean, obviously they're a team, very veteran team that moves the ball extremely well, and when they shoot the ball from the 3, when you add that to Fernandez, who I thought we did a great job on today, but he gets 9 assists, you know what I mean? So his role today was a little bit more distribution. Dominguez really hurt us with his activity level, as did obviously Levesque, who hadn't made a 3 yet
in his whole career.
You know what I mean? He makes 2 of them today. Louise, who was, I think, at 20% from the 3, goes 2 for 3. But they're good players, and so if you give them open shots with time and space, they're going to make them.
Coach, when you have a team, you're facing a team that's largely comprised of transfers, and this early in the season, you don't have much to go on as far as any video or anything like that. Obviously, your focus is your team, but still the challenge in coaching a team that you just don't really haven't seen together, and not much video. They've only played a few games together. Of course, there's more and more like that with the transfer portal right now, but still.
Yeah, I mean, and again, I thought, you know, in terms of our preparation, our guys did a pretty good job. We knew they like to go into the post on some of those high lows and different things like that. I thought we did a really good job of covering that. One of our guys picked up an early foul, gambling on one of those passes early in the game, which we said, it just slide behind them, because most of those big guys they have need angles to score. They're not great post with a guy between you and the basket scores. That's why they do the high-low and stuff like that. It's always a little more difficult, especially the fact that they're playing a whole new system than the guys who played there last year played. But I thought our guys, I don't think our guys, our defensive issue for our guys, and to our guys' credit, was on any coverages per se. They were more on just basic tenets of defense. You know what I mean? Where you're in the gap, and if the ball snapped to your man, you got to close out on his toes with a high hand and keep the hand up. There was a couple where guys that like to go right or like to go left, they were able to do that, which was disappointing. But that happens in the game.
What explanation did the officials give you late in the game when Tyler caught the pass in the corner and they said he was out of bounds? Because it looked like he lifted his foot up before he caught the ball. At least that's what I saw.
The explanation was the ref saw that his foot was out of bounds when he caught it. And in looking at the video, the angle of the video was inconclusive, because the angle of the video was blocked and couldn't see if when he actually touched the ball, if he was out of bounds. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
Anything else?
All good? Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Coach.